Hi, everyone. So, welcome to another live with me. And today I do have a special guest. But what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk a lot about the brain, the mind. Can we rewire? Can we think? Or can we control our thinking? Can we change our lives by our thoughts? And so many more questions that we have on everyday basis. And while we have those questions, we wonder, is there a right way to do this? So let's begin by just understanding the basics of everything. So I want to welcome Reena Jabran. Reena, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay. Hi, Sneha. Thank you so much for this wonderful talk. And I'm Reena Jabran. And initially, I started my life in NLP, and then it went on to improvise much more in the early stages of 2000, and started inculcating to understand what the brain can do. Thereby, I saw that everything goes into something called neuroscience. And from there, I started understanding that there's something much, much more to NLP. And I started doing and slowly started moving towards understanding how are we talking to our brain, what are we doing with our brain. Thereby, I started improvising on it, and there you are. I got into, without my knowledge, got into neural semantics without my knowledge, because when you go deeper into the subject, universe opens up, right? So I got into this neural semantics, and so astonishingly I started seeing that it started connecting to the ancient Indian science and spirituality, because I have a very strong roots on the Indian science and spirituality, which I've not used much. I've been a personal secretary to Swami Chinmayananda, and of course, the practicality of how these things works for day to day. That is very important for me. I leave the rest. I only take the essence of how do these things which are ancient rishis have found out, how are they actually applicable to today's life, practical application. That's how. And here you are after 20 years, Nehal. I'm here with, a very new way of handling things. And it's not me. It is the consolidation of a whole lot of neuroscientists whom I'm accessing their seminars. And of course, the NLP aspects of the founders, as well as a lot of people who have gone through life experiences. And I only see seminars of those who have done it, who have gone through it, and have come out very, very successfully. So that I am. This is what I do.
Thank you. I think you pretty much initiated that conversation. So let me go right to the first question. Um, there is so much talk about NLP, which we hear, but you talk a lot about neural semantics. So if you have to put it in the most simplest way for a layman like me to understand, what would you say neural semantics is?
Okay. Now let us see what is NLP. Okay, because people have got the concepts wrong. Sorry, my dear friends who know NLP, but I think you need to, a little more. You guys have got amazing information. You need to go a little more deeper into the roots, right, to understand what, because a huge technology. Brain is not how much ever you dig into the brain is just a minute thing that we are looking into, right? It's just that we are scratching the periphery. So NLP, if you see, it's equivalent to the binary system of a computer. So here, what's the binary system is 0010001. The entire whole lot of languaging happens with this binary system in the computer. Similarly, in our brain, we have these neurons which are connected. The 001s, the permutation combinations are many. So if you see the permutation combination, we understand what we have to do, or the brain tells us what we have to do with regard to the combination of these bits and bytes, right? So this is what it's all about. So the neurons, 0010001, whatever the way the communication happens inside the brain, is equal to the information we get from the outside world. Only the information what we get from the outside world, with that we start playing. Like you cannot make a computer start its own language. You have to feed in the language into the computer, and the computer beautifully works on a combination of permutation and combination of the entire thing. So that is for me, I'm telling you very strongly, for me, that is NLP. It is the basic, it's the fundamentals. It is actually a kindergarten. For me, it's a kindergarten in the sense that you initiate your life into NLP, understanding this. How do I work with the binary system of the brain, the neurons? With the information I got, information converts into beliefs, beliefs converts into conviction, and of course, conviction into your behavior, whatever it is, right? So that is the path. So that is what NLP deals. Programming the languaging to the brain, restructuring the belief systems, which is from the information from we got from the outside world, and how do we make it into a an action or a behavior, right? Whereas neurosemantics goes beyond it. We have information from the outside world. Is that information enough? Where is it that we can find out whether this behavior of mine is giving me success or not? If this behavior of mine has to give a success, I need to know more, connect into more, evolution, a much higher evolution, where I have to have a particular data, which is a much more evolved data for me to change, right? Unless I get an evolved data, I will not change. I'll be playing in the same thing. Whatever information belief system is there, I'll play in that. So I must get the information from a higher data, and that will take me to the next stage of evolution. I call it as evolution. No? The evolution is slow, at the same time steady. So that's how we start evolving. Now, what's neural semantics? The meaning we attribute to the higher evolution. And that is where the ancient Indian science and spirituality comes. Because we don't know what's a higher information, right? We think everything that we know is the highest. Thereby, we are comfortable in saying that I'm the best, right? But best with regard to what? Right? So that is where the ancient Indian science and spirituality, or any literature, leave alone Indian science and spirituality, the great cultures of the world, the ancient great cultures of the world, the Egyptian culture, and of course, the other cultures in the world, you have the Bible, you have the Quran, you have so many things. They give you the same direction. It's a higher ideal, it's a higher altitude. So understanding that meaning and contributing it to a brain, to take our brain towards what we want to do in our life, is neural semantics, giving it a meaning, give it an understanding, giving it a higher altitude. Because when you want to achieve anything, please understand you need to have a higher ideal. That's where I saw that NLP was just a baser one. So I started evolving, and I knew that only this would make it work wonders, right? So I think I have infused the ancient Indian science as well as the neural semantics. So yeah, is it clear, or do you want more details?
I love the way you spoke about what NLP is before you spoke about neural semantics. And then the ancient Indian science. So it is, I think, a level above level above level. Uh, but ideally, it is more deeper and deeper and deeper when it comes to, actually um, understanding self and how we speak. Again, for all those who are asking, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. That's what we have been talking about. So Reena, tell me this. Sorry. In everyday life, like most of the times it is assumed, and this is what I have seen, at least people that I connect with, and mostly my connects or acquaintances come from entrepreneurship or coaching or authors. It is assumed, now I know it, but I want to hear it from you, that this NLP or neural semantics or all of this learning is only for professionals. Like if you're in the business of teaching or talking, or you want to just, teach the world something, only then you should do NLP or neural semantics. So how true is that?
Not at all, Snehal. If you're born in this world, you need to evolve. Anybody who needs to evolve, whoever it may be, right? You need to understand that you need to keep changing with the ever changing world, right? For that, we need to understand how do we shift this brain. So I feel that the first person who should really imbibe it in their life are the trainers and the coaches. I'm very frank. Huh? So they should, first of all, it's a subjective experience. Subjective experience is actually for everybody in this world. A person who is, beautifully sitting and selling some vegetables on the road, if he's not feeling happy, he should know what is it that he needs to be happy about. What does he want? See, all these things are actually the permutation combination of what he can get. So these things are definitely not for the trainers and for the coaches, let me be frank, unless they internalize it. They have to make it internal. They have to go to the subjective experience. So anybody in this world that thereby, I think it'll be, we cater to, 80 billion people. So 80 billion people does need it. Whoever it is, sports person or a housewife or a small child or anybody, it's a code. So all of us, we don't live without the binary system. So if you have a binary system, this is applicable. If you don't have a binary system and you're hollow, like the hollow man, then I don't think so, because nothing goes into your head and you're a vacuum. So everybody in this world does need this, whoever it might be, right? So there's no hard and fast rule. If you ask me, I will extend it even to the animals, to the plants. When you give plant love and affection, there is a type of a vibration going towards a plant, and the plant survives beautifully. So, wherever there's energy, wherever there's vibration, you need it. It's not a methodology, it is life. It's an experience, right? So we cannot take, like, you cannot take NLP from me. You cannot take neurosemantics from me. Because if you take it out, my binary system is gone. Thereby, Reena is not existing anymore.
True, true. So I'm just going to simplify this a little bit more, okay, before I move to the next. So guys who are watching, we are actually doing just kind of an introduction today. We are going to do a series of neural semantics and ancient Indian science and a blend of it and talk a little bit more. For a few more weeks, we'll let you know how many are we doing. It depends on how much love and affection we get from you as well. Because if you need more and the more questions keep coming in, we will go ahead and continue the series for long. For now, we're definitely doing it at least 7 to 8 episodes. So to continue this conversation, Reena, can you give me an example for, say, a simple housewife who believes that she actually doesn't do anything? How would neuro-linguistic programming or neural semantics help her?
Right. Every one of us want to be happy, isn't it? We don't want to be bored. The other one is we don't want to be bored, right? Where people start thinking when they're bored. So when you're bored, when you have a stupid thinking, you go to idle thinking in the sense that, you just start thinking anything and everything. At the same time, remember, all of us have got innumerable talents. So if a housewife sitting there thinks that now my children are growing up, now they have passed the time when she is with the child, probably 3-4 years, where the child does need the mother. The beauty is she can write a book on how she's bringing up the child, right? Whatever is an experience. Today my child cried. Now how am I going to handle the child? And then she puts a blog. You got it? So people who want to read it, oh, they can't handle the child. They read the blog and they said, oh, this is the way to handle the child. Fantastic. Let me do it. It is just sharing whatever you want, You love to make pickle, sell it to your neighbors. You'll get 10 rupees or $10. Be happy.
Yeah.
$1, be happy, right? You can do so many things. Slowly, the money will start pouring in. So understand one thing, all of us have got talents, whoever it might be, right? So I'm not giving any specific people in any field, because this is applicable for everybody. So housewife must just find out what is she passionate about. If she's passionate about talking, let her take the Zoom and start talking, right? Suddenly she opens her eyes, she'll see 10 people sitting and logging and listening to what she's talking, right? So share
Absolutely.
what you feel like saying, share what you feel like doing. You have a recipe, teach people, right? So this is the way you'll start becoming satisfied that you have been given a talent, and you can start exploring it. But one thing, no, Sneha, all of us are busy telling we are busy, right?
Oh,
Doing
yeah.
nothing.
There's definitely a crowd who loves saying, busy being busy, actually doing nothing. So, yeah, I agree with that part.
So take 5, 10 minutes. I'm not asking you to take the entire day. 10 minutes. Do something 10 minutes. Every sports person in the world starts with 10 minutes, and they go on to become, Novak Djokovic or Roger Federer or Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli, whoever it is, whoever is your sports person. They have taken small steps. So you start taking small steps. We don't know where we are going to go. Tomorrow you might be an industrialist who is, outbeating all the great industrialists in the world, right? So do what you feel like doing, love what you feel like doing, and give it to the world. Full stop. We don't know where, who will, you know. So many people sing songs, and immediately they touch a million people, right? So we really don't know. In the social media, we really don't know how our talents get explored and they start, getting you what you want. So housewives,
Right.
especially, explore what you love and go and exhibit to the world, and definitely you'll get what you want.
Absolutely. I totally agree with what Reena is saying, guys. And just to add one more thing to that is it is not just about accomplishing something, it is more about how do you really feel about yourself and how do you feel about the people around you and what do your relationships look like. So I think that is something that is an innate part of each one of our lives. We are social animals, we all have neural system, and one of the most important things we do for in our everyday life is, or actually everything that we do in our life is somewhere looking for that happiness, that joy, that fulfillment. And that is what NLP neural semantics helps you enable. Okay. And that actually brings me to, I just have last two questions for you, Rina. And one of them is how important it is for someone to first understand, like, is there a rule that I have to learn NLP first to understand neural semantics, or can I just deep dive into neural semantics? What would you recommend being an expert? And you've been teaching this for so many years.
It all depends what you want to do. Because number one is, there are a lot of people who come because they want to teach others, not themselves, right? So they want to come and learn. So they say that, no, which one can I do? And I want to become a trainer. I want to train others. I want to coach others. So which one will I start with, right? The thing is, first of all, understand that you have enough information. At the same time, give it a structure. Information is in plenty, give it a structure. So I always tell us, first of all, understand what your brain is. So I always tell people, my students, to touch and close their eyes, and then, imagine you have a brain, and make that brain work for you. So first of all, you have to understand the brain and put it in the practical every day. So just learning neural semantics or NLP does not make any sense to me. You learn something, apply it, find out the result, right? And then apply it more, find out the result, and then go to the next stage, next stage, next stage. And as you're going, a point will come in your life where you don't need the coach anymore, because the universal becomes the coach. Until then, you must hold the hand of somebody. And one thing I tell Snehal is, if you hold somebody's hand, believe in the coach. Believe that that person is going to take you to the pinnacle of success. Other people might tell that this coach is no good, this, that, whatever it is. But if you believe, your coach will direct you to the zenith of your excellence. There's no doubt about it. I hold to only one guru. I hold to only one methodology. I hold to only one God. I don't have too many. And I know that whoever says controversies or whatever it is, I don't even look here and there. If that is the person, that is the person, and I pursue it to an extent where the guru will leave your hand and say, now you pursue your journey. Right? So that is how it is. So it all depends. You go step by step. Evolution is step by step. Evolution is not all of a sudden. Take the time to evolve.
You said something, so I definitely want to ask you this. Now, this is, I'm just picking up from what you said. Like, what would you say about, like, today? I think there are too many NLP trainers. As in, if you ask me, somewhere even I feel at times it has become Chinese whispers, where the information has reduced, and the course that which used to take so many hours to learn and so much of experience, experiential learning, as we said. And I think I still remember the first time I met you. You said, Snehal, it's all about experiencing. You don't know what electricity or current is until you put your hand in that socket, or you put your finger in the socket and you know what it really is. So what would you say about all those people who are learning NLP or neural semantics only because they just want to take it and give it? How effective is it? Because I've seen that myself. I've taken around good, I don't know, I think 2012 I met you. So it's been nearly nearly 9 years now, and I still feel that I'm not yet ready to teach. So what would you say about choosing a trainer for themselves? What are the things that one should look for before they enroll for these courses or things like that? Anything that you would like to give as a tip? Because there are too many right now in the market. I think you and I have had that conversation where people are even learning in $5 something, which is such an amazing science, and you can learn it in 5 minutes and $5.
Sneha, when you go to a market, there are people going and buying shirts for 100 rupees. And some of them really want to buy it from the branded ones where they know the quality of the shirt and they'll never compromise. True. And these people who are selling those shirts will not bring down the pricing because they know that they are giving value for that shirt. So there's a very, very stark difference between a shirt which has got a second, when seconds, you get the shirts in seconds, which are gone on the pavement for sales, and the shirt which is got from a branded good showroom, right? True. So first of all, you decide whether you want a sale shirt and sell it to somebody, or do you want a branded shirt and bring up your credibility. That is very, very important. I always say the Sanskrit, sloka, Udhara nimittam bahukrita vesham. For the sake of the stomach, all of us, we put our own roles. We adorn ourselves. Does not matter. It's true because we all have a stomach to feed. If we do not have a stomach, we will never get into all these things, right?
I agree. I totally agree with you.
Right. So for the sake of stomach, you want to do it, be clear. I am doing it for the sake of my stomach. There were times in my life where I did programs for the sake of my stomach. Anybody says any amount, I used to tell, okay, fine, you take it, because I wanted that money to feed myself. Slowly, slowly, you start understanding that now that you're becoming more and more, means your knowledge is increasing, you understand we have to make an impact on the other person and get the other person to have a shift that they want, not what you want. Sure. Right? So make them feel happy, because if you start spreading that, then you go to the next level. So I always tell people, those who are damn bloody convinced of what Snehal and me are doing, please come to me. All those who want, and Udara Nimittam Bahukrita Vesham, and I want to make the money, fine, do whatever you please. Everything is fine, so long as you know what you're doing. So we are priced high, we are looking, it's only for anything because we damn know what is the value we are giving. Sure. It all depends on, if you are damn convinced about yourself, you're convinced that you will definitely change people's life, and you're taken the onus of it, changing from A to B. I'm not telling a whole change. A to B. Tell them this is what I can do for you. If you want it, please come to us. If you feel that you can get it for a better pricing, please, I request you all to find it. Because one thing, no, Snehal, if it's an international cuisine and there are 1,000 people and there are 1,000 dishes, you cannot ask everybody to come to one stall.
Sure.
Everybody will go where their feet goes. That stall which gives fantastic food, which is digestible, soft to the stomach, very tasty, and the pricing, even though it's high, it is worth it. People will start going. That type of a crowd will start going to that. So, my guru always says, spread out your wares. Those who want to come and buy it will buy it. Those who don't want to come and buy it, probably the next stall is for them.
I agree. I totally agree. And thank you for giving, sharing an example with it. So I do have one last question for you. And that is, what are we going to talk about in the next episode, which is going to be next week, same time?
Right. Now, today we said that we initiated into the NLP. What is NLP? Even though we are not gone deeper into the subject, we are just initiated to understand, yeah, this is what the binary system is. What is NLP? The belief systems become this one. That is what we have understood. Then we went into neurosemantic, understanding what is the meaning to be attributed to get the change that we want. Because if the meaning is not attributed correctly to the brain, this guy will do whatever he wants. Right? So we have to give the right meaning to him and tell that, hello, this I took it, and you get convinced from the Shastras, and then give the meaning to the brain, then the brain works wonders for you. Make your brain work for you. So now that you understood, now next we'll go into understanding what is this brain? How do we process the thoughts? Right? How is the belief systems formed? Does the belief system work for me? Whether it's useful, whether it's useless? And what's its flow of thought? And how does it convert into a behavior? And how are we going to really change our behavior with understanding of a higher ideal, right? So that would be the next thing, because I'm looking at a flow. So that would be the next thing, because people want to know the mysteries of the brain. Huh?
Yes, yes, yes. And I think every time I listen to you, there's so much more to learn from you, Reena. And guys, if you've heard me speak in the last 2 years, you've probably heard me say a zillion times, soch badalne se hi hoga, which is when you change your thoughts, you can change your world. But how does that really, really work? Is there a scientific logic or reasoning behind it? How true does it, how truly does it actually apply in your body? Because when you're talking about neuroscience, it is your neural system that we're talking about. So we are going to talk a lot more about this, and we're going to continue sharing this each week with you. However, we need your support. We want to know if you have any questions that you feel you have around this topic, or anything that you want to ask Reena directly or me. Feel free to either comment in the chat box or connect with us privately to ask us questions. We may not be replying those questions right away, but we will definitely cover them in the next video that we would be doing for you. So every question is important. Every inquiry is important. So do send in the questions. That is the way we know that you want to know more about this, and we'll continue doing more. We also need some motivation, guys. So that is Reena Jabran for you. Reena, thank you so much for your time today. And guys, we are going to connect next week, same time. Reena, any parting words before we go today? Any tip for the week?
Yeah. So I'll just tell you guys that love is in the air. It's Valentine's week, right?
Yes,
it's not only spouse. It's give love to everybody, because that is what will change people. One ingredient, definite ingredient to change anybody in this world is to start sourcing the love from inside. So start giving love to your family, to your friends, to the animals, to the plants. I don't know, just romance with the entire world. Romance is not sex, okay? I'm sorry, I have to use that word, because, love means immediately people go, and poor St. Valentine's must be, feeling so bad that, they are correlating sex to hormonal things to the love. Love is purity. Love is just go and do it. So love plus expectations is lust. So if you really want to give unconditional love, lust minus the expectations is pure love. So I wish all of you all a fantastic journey, a beginning of a love-filled journey for each one of you.
So I think that was the best message, Reena. So I'm not going to say anything more. Guys, thank you so much for watching us. Please comment, please ask us the questions, and we'll see you next week, same time, Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time and 7 a.m. my time, that is New York time. Take care, guys. Have an amazing, amazing week ahead.